Welcome in, welcome back, welcome to Stream-of-Unconsciousness, where the subject's made up and the words don't matter. Yet another Star Trek related video. I happen to like Star Trek quite a bit. I thought we would go through a new edition. I realize it hasn't been that long ago since I did the new edition of the Super 7 reaction Captain Kirk there. You know, things move forward. So, did not too long ago add the HIYA Toys Captain Pike from the Kelvin timeline, which again, we covered that. Pretty good figure. A lot of reuse of parts, which is fine. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. I do like the paint apps on him a little bit better than the original figures, and the skin tone I think is better. A little difficult to tell in this lighting. But in moving forward with my enjoyment of the HIYA Toys Star Trek collections that they have, collection, singular, I guess, that they have, in the 1/18th scale, I did just pick up the Captain Pike from Strange New Worlds. So as you can see, it actually says, I'll flip that around here so people could read it. Exquisite Mini, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Pike. This tab here on the side is new. The original Kelvin Star Trek figures did not have that. I know they have released a Spock. I do not have that one yet. So I don't know if the image on the card back changes. I know it didn't for the original Kelvin timeline figures. They were all Captain Kirk. So my assumption would be it's not going to be different for those, but again, without having seen the card yet, I don't know. So there's the figure in his tiny plastic prison. Doesn't come with a lot of accessories. He's got the same stand as the other Star Trek figures. Comes with a phaser, communicator, a focus, there we go. Two different hands. And as I've mentioned before, we'll look at this in a second, the hands for the replacement hands do not have the same size hole, so you'll have to watch out for that if you're going to replace hands. It really wants to focus on his face, doesn't it? Okay, so we'll take a look at the back of the card real quick without knocking anything over. Haha, there's a lot of stuff in Chinese that I cannot read. And then there's some information about the mini itself and about HIYA Toys, and two sort of in-action hero shots of the figure itself. So we're going to take our handy-dandy X-Acto knife, and I'm not going to open this in front of the camera because I would like to not cut one of my fingers off. I'm sure you understand. Hope you all can appreciate that I'm doing all my own stunts. So I'm going to cut around the bubber, which I'm sure just kills the soul of some people, but I'm one of those people that's like, let them free. If you love your action figures, set them free. So, there we go. Alright, we have taken an X-Acto knife around the edge, and we have cut it loose, so I'll show you that there, and I will take out the trays. And there is the wonder of it all. Now, as is my experience with HIYA Toys Star Trek figures, they come with two separate trays. They have a bottom tray which includes the base and the connectors, so you can connect it to another base. Pretty much every HIYA Toys base I've seen is built like that. Whatever this design is, it's still got the H connectors, or I-beam connectors, however you want to refer to them as, that will allow them to be connected to another base. Even the alien ones that I have are like that. So it's got the classic Star Trek type font, which is not visible on the Kelvin figures. The main tray comes with a nice protector that holds everything in place so it doesn't rattle around in shipping or on shelves or whatever. I've never actually seen one of these on a shelf, so I wouldn't know for sure, but there you go. So there we go. We got the phaser, communicator, two replacement hands, and the figure himself, which we will free. Live and be free! So, I'm thinking some decent paint apps on this. He's got about the same kind of waist articulation that the Kelvin figures had. Again, this is more of like an internal mechanism covered by a softer PVC shell. It's a little bit less form-fitting. Here's the actual Pike. A little bit less form-fitting, so it is being a little bit looser. I think he's got a little more play in the waist. Actually turns a little bit more. Unlike the Kelvin figures, he has a cut at the bicep, top of the bicep, which is extremely difficult to turn, and basically a double joint in the elbow, which these do not have. Focus, there we go. Which will allow him, between the two of them, it will allow him to be in slightly more dynamic poses. Same kind of, it seems like, same kind of shoulder articulation. You can get a little bit better look in there. I've always been curious about how that was attached. Actually, that may be a ball joint. Interesting. Head does not, moves a little bit. Again, the collars on the Star Trek uniforms don't give you a lot of play. But it does turn right and left. It does move a little bit back and forth. The wrists turn, and again, they're removable. He does have cut thigh tops. Again, which are very stiff. Oh my god. There we go. Which are not present. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera trying to get his knee straight. Not present on the Kelvin figures. Interestingly, his knee is a little bit off center when you set the gig line up properly, but then again, his leg is also kicked out at a little bit of an angle. In this instance, unlike some of the Kelvin figures where their knees are just sort of knock-kneed, I think this looks more purposeful. I think they did that on purpose. So it does turn. Does it turn? I'm a liar. I'm a liar. It does not appear to turn at the top of the boots. Oh, yes, it does. It's just very stiff. I mean, good stiff joints are very nice. So, nice boots. The nice Delta shield on the boots there. And the Strange New Worlds. I think Season 2 tunics, or is this... Am I thinking of the versus the tunics that were in Discovery? Pretty good figure overall, I'd say. Once I... Oh my goodness, I'm not going to break that right now. Ah! I'm going to hit the camera, though. I'm going to hit the camera a lot. Be prepared for that. So, there is Captain Pike, who will freestand on his own a little bit. The cheese stands alone. So, in looking at the replacement hands in the container, he has the communicator hand. Communicator's here, already on the figure. There's the... Let's get my fat thumbs out of the way. It does not open, but it does have a painted front to simulate the grid, the antenna grid. Otherwise, it's just sort of a little slip of black plastic with some gold paint slop, which is, yeah, I'm alright with that. And the Strange New World style classic phaser. He does not come with a belt or a holster, which outside of the away team jackets, I don't think they ever actually wore. I'm trying to think if there were any in the show. I'm going to have to go rewatch the show. Oh, sadness. Some very small joints in the elbows there. Personally, would have preferred a repeat of the Kelvin style elbow joints, but I also recognize that they are not as posable as people would like. So, flat sort of open hand on the figure in the package. The phaser holding hand is separate, which is not the case of the Kelvin. Well, actually, looking at the Kelvin Pike, he did have his open hand on instead of the phaser holding hand. Phaser holding hand. So, pretty good. A decent paint job. A little bit of slop around the hairline. But, yeah. And if you look at these, I don't know if you have, I tend to look at a lot of stuff online because, I don't know, I have ADHD or something, who knows. You'll notice that it looks, the tunic ends up looking very almost smock-y, which I think it looks a little bit less like that in hand. Smock. Now I have Calvin and Hobbes running in my head. Anyway, so there you have it. Captain Pike from Strange New Worlds. An excellent addition to the collection. There is a Mr. Spock as well, I believe. I don't know what the actual release date on that is as far as it coming to the US. We will have to wait and see. But there we go. I think he's going to make a good addition to the collection. If you enjoyed this, please feel free to like and comment. Subscribe if you would like to. This is the kind of stuff I do. I review stuff that I like and stuff that I've made. And if that is something you enjoy, then feel free to visit, look at my back catalog. Thanks very much for watching, and we will see you next time.